Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my voice. We hit over 300 already. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, this is just amazing. And I'm really thinking about doing a live just so we can like chit chat a little bit. But I'm nervous about that, so we'll see. We're gonna do this card and I'm gonna show you what we're gonna make because I already made it, but then I'm like, I need to make this for a video. Are you guys ready for this? Look at that. Yes, I know, kind of spooky because of the eye. But this is I was thinking about the Hocus Pocus movie, and in reality, I just did this, and my daughter was like, "Mom, it needs the eyeball." So then I figured that out. But isn't it so cute? And the movie comes out tomorrow, Hocus Pocus 2. So it's kind of cool having this done. And so I decided to make another one. I'm going to go ahead and cut out all these pieces offline, and I'm going to do that because in reality that's kind of boring, and the fun part about this card is putting it all together. So any of the pieces that we have to cut, I'm going to cut offline. The only thing excuse me, my voice is still in and out, that I'm going to do on camera is the actual box, because I did kind of rig it so it'll be a little more solid. Not a huge difference, but enough that it doesn't sink in. And I think it came out pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out and I'll be back. Okay, so we have all our pieces cut, and now what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna mark these before taking them to a trimmer and cutting them down. This one, I'm going to do it exactly the way it is here. I'm really hoping that anyone in Florida is fine. Storm was a disaster. Several family members were affected, and right now, guys, I'm crafting because I need the distraction. So anyway, let's happy place. So we're gonna just mark everything down. And the last one. Okay, that's good. We're gonna get rid of that one already. And this one we're gonna cut twice, but what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna bring in, make it a 1/4 inch or so wider, so it can provide a little more support to the drawer. So let's do that. And after I mark the first one, then I'll just cut the second one alongside of it, so it'll be the same size. Well, more or less. Okay. I think I'm being extra picky. All right, and then we're gonna put one line there and one line here. You can always score this, I mean cut down that extra little piece, but we have that, so I'll cut that down and then I'll cut a second panel of the same size. So let's get that done. And now we're gonna cut this one down. And then we just have to score them. Let's see. Okay. And that's it. And everything else we'll cut with the scissor. Okay. Now we're gonna see. Let's just get that scored. And cut those pieces. I don't know how you guys are in emergencies like this, but I think almost every crafter, every maker I know, like your instinct is to do something. And I think the worst things in these times is how little you can do. Let's see. Kind of frustrating. Okay. All right. This would have been much easier with a big scoreboard, but why do that when I could torture myself a little bit? And that one's done already. So we just have this side to go. Okay. Not perfect, but it'll do. Okay, this is going to be right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take this one and do the same. Just line it up. Okay. And just like that, I forgot where it was. Right here. Oops. Fine, no big deal. And this one's going to be at 1.5. So let's go to 1.5. So we have everything scored. All right. Put that to the side. And what I am going to do is that I'm going to take maybe this piece of paper and let's just cut it in half. And then we're going to see how this is 1.5. So we're going to score this at 1.5. No, I'm sorry. We're going to score it at 1. And then, let's see, this is 1. Let's do 2.5. And that should give us the space that we need to make those little stoppers that'll stop the drawer from coming out and hopefully give it a little more stability. At least it did in the model I did. So we're going to finish that. I'm going to glue these pieces together and I'll be right back. Okie dokies. Okay, so the box is put together and now we're going to start assembling some of these guys. But before I assemble them, I'm going to get some ink and I'm going to make them look old or vintage. So we're going to use a vintage photo and black soot. So let's get a blender tool ready. And let's do this. Okay, so this is going to be our bottom piece. Now I ran out of this thick craft cardstock, so I made the inside part in black. This is, it's going to go behind. You're really not going to see it. So I'm going to ink these two guys, and then I'll decide which one I'm going to use for the front. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the vintage photo, and I'm going to be very generous with the ink. This is meant to look imperfect, so it doesn't matter how much you put or if you put less. And then I'm going to go back and get the edges with the black, and with that one I'm not going to be as generous. So we have that. And now we're going to do the same with all the other ones. This is going to be my top piece, so I'm going to be a little more careful with it. Not too much. Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing and come back with our black soot. You guys could do this with the if you have the Crafter's Companion inks, you can do it the same with those inks. These are just the ones that I have, so that's what I'm using. I'm sorry if you hear my coffee machine. Need some coffee. Okay, so now we have that. And we're going to do that with all of these. The only one that I'm not going to do just yet is this piece, because this is where I'm going to emboss, and I don't want to add any extra ink before I emboss, because then it might stick to it and then it's going to be a mess. So we're going to avoid that. Now on this one, I'm not going to put any of the brown because it won't show too much. So I'm just going to put some black on it. Just again, making the pages look a little older. Now, if you wanted to, you can emboss all of them. I'm not. I'm just going to emboss the top one, which is this color. And I'm going to use the Crafter's Companion Love Letters embossing folder that has all the writing. Since I can't read it, it can be a love letter, but I'm going to use it in my spooky card. Okay, this one is good. So again, it's just making it look a little dirty, a little grungy. And for this one, I'm going to use more of the brown. And then maybe on just the edges, I'll bring some of the black ink in. There we go. All right, so we have that. And then lastly, I'm actually going to hold off on doing this one too until I emboss it. So I'm going to get that ready, and let's see where my folder is. Okay, I'm going to have to find that, and I'll be back with it embossed, and then we can go ahead and at least finish this part off before we do our embossing. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so that one is embossed, and I'm going to go ahead and ink the whole thing, because I want to really make sure that those words are seen. So I'm going to go over with brown, and then I'm going to put a little bit of black in it. Just to make it look old, that's all. Okay, so that's that. And now let's see, we're gonna emboss this guy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get my embossing buddy. Let's get our VersaFine ink ready. Our embossing buddy. And now we're going to find the stamps. Now, the stamps that I use are actually the diamond press stamps. And it's from that little witch that I made. And it's just because I never bought the one from Crafters Companions, so the Halloween stuff. So I figured, you know, this is what I have, so this is what I'm going to use. All right. So we're going to put some of this stuff on it. And we're going to emboss it. And the color we're going to use to emboss it is actually green. So let's get that. And now we'll figure out where we're going to put this guy. I want to make sure it's closer to the edge, so that way when I cut this page, I still have it in a good spot. So I think that's good to go. And now let's ink it. Now these are acrylic stamps, but they stamp really well. So let's do it one more time. And I'm gonna hold it there while I get my embossing powder ready. And we're gonna pour that on top. Okay. All right, let's tap that out. And there you go. Look how neat that looks. Okay, so let's put this back in here. I can't give you the name of this. This came as a sample. I bought something and it had the samples of these powders, and I don't know the manufacturer, but I mean, you could find any of those bright greens or whatever. And now we're gonna emboss. All right, I'm gonna get my embossing tool and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have that ready, and let's turn it on. If you leave it on for a little bit, then it heats up, and you should be able to emboss it quickly without warping the paper too much. But in this case, I really don't mind that it works. So if it does, it does. As soon as it changes, move on. Okay. Put it back. And there we go. Let that cool off for a second. And now we're going to work on the other papers. Now, in order to get them to look like a book, as you guys know. Oh, wait. Before we even do that, let's score them in the center. Let me get this dry. Got a little bit of water on it. You know what? Let me just get the other one. Okay. Ooh, my Crafter's Companion scoreboard is supposed to be arriving today. That's gonna be fun. All right, so we're gonna that there, and we're going to. You know what? I'm just gonna put it at the 5 so I can see it, and I'm gonna score that down the middle. I think this one will do better. All right. So there we have 1. This to this one. There we have 2. There we have 3. And we'll do the last one. And then that one is going to go cut, the one that I embossed on, so I'm not going to worry about that. And now we can roll these just a little bit and start getting them to form. Now for my little curls, I'm gonna get a pokey tool. Let's get one of these. And we're gonna take the edges and I'm gonna train it just a little bit. And then I'm gonna try to grab it and then start curling it in. And how much you want to curl, that's up to you. I'm going to curl about that much, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm just going to train it a little bit, and then I'm just going to curl it. This is hard for a person with arthritis, but it is what it is. Okay, so we have that. And we're going to do the same thing with all of them. Let's form it first. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and form it. Okay, that one gave me a little hard time, but it's all good. If it separates a little bit like that and it bothers you, you can always add a little more ink to it, and that'll cover up those white pieces. This paper has a white core, but I'm not gonna fuss with that too much. Okay, and let's see if we can curl this one a little more. There we go. So we have that, and now let's go to this guy. This paper is thicker, so it's going to give a little more of a challenge. It's going to give a little more resistance, but we can get it done as well. All right. Okay. Okay. And let's see if we can get this one a little bit more curved. There we go. So we have those pieces, and now we have one more to go. So I'm gonna probably do this one off screen because it's kind of getting the same thing. You just gotta curl it, and then we'll cut that one down. I'll be right back. Okay, so we cut this down, and what I'm gonna do now is I'm also gonna ink it. I really want to highlight the sentiment, so putting the dark color on it will just make the other part pop more. Okay, sorry about that. Just getting some news. Okay. Let's do the same with this one, and let's start to train the corner. And then just try to wrap it around. Okay, and that one we're just going to do it on that side. Okay. So this one I'm going to actually glue onto that piece. So let me get my glue. And I'm gonna glue it now so it could set by the time I'm gonna add the foam to the bottom to give it a little lift. So we have that. And I'm gonna give that a second to set and then I'll be right back. Okay, and then the last piece is going to be this one, and this is where we're gonna put the little die cut on. So we're gonna ink that as well. And on the camera, everything always looks brighter. It's really a nice dark color. Okay. Okay, clean my hand off. And let's put that to the side. Now this, we're gonna glue these pages in one on top of the other, and when they all fully dry, we'll come back and add the foam tape to elevate it just a little bit. And we're almost done with this card. There's not many more steps to go. Okay, and then the last one. And then we're just gonna give that a second to dry, and then we'll come back with our foam tape. Let's bring it down a little bit. And that's good to go there. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna start putting our foam. And as you go, it'll lift up more. We have that. So let's put a thicker one in the center. I just want that one to pop up a little more. And that's what we have so far. Okay, that's for the last one. And then that's what we have. So it's coming together pretty good. So now the book has some dimension. And then this one is going to go here, but first we're going to put this card together. Let me get my scoreboard and I'll be right back. Okay, since this is a piece that's going to go help make the card an easel, this is the one that I'm going to score. And I'm just going to score it at 1 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to more or less figure out what's the half point. I'm not going to be perfect about this, it's fine. Okay, so this side will go this way, and this side will go that way. And then we're going to do this one, yes, to here. And this is how we're going to make our easel. And then this part will go glued to the bottom. So let's get that done. Let's put our glue here. Okay. So that's what we have. And then this will go glued here, which I'm going to do now. And then once it dries, then I'll pop it up with the foam tape. I couldn't find my words. Let me just make sure this is straight. And I'll just give that a second to set. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so now we get to the eyeball. And the way that I did the eyeball is, if I can find my pencil, which is right in my face, is that I just traced around just to see how big I wanted the eyeball. And it's not gonna look anything like what I'm doing, but it's just a more or less. So then I cut it out and then I formed it from there. So first I just cut it out. It doesn't have any great shape right now. Now this paper I also embossed it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to see exactly where the eyeball's going to go, and then I'm going to kind of cut it and shape it to match that. So I think I'm just going to cut it straight first, and then just shape this out a little bit. Now it doesn't have to be a big opening. And this is just basically gonna have to trim it up a couple of times before you get a finished product that you actually like. And then we're gonna do the other one. So we're gonna do that, and now I'm gonna take one of my flower formers, and let's use this, and I'm gonna shape it just a little bit. That way, get this. I can see if I have to trim any of them, or if I need to start over. So we're gonna just shape it around and not really worry too much how it is right now. And we're gonna do the same thing. It's just to break those fibers up a little bit and get some kind of a curve. Okay. So now it's just to see how you want the eyeball to look. I'm going to cut this down a little bit because I want this part to go in the inside. And then I'll just keep cutting it as I need to and trimming it. So it's gonna look something like that. I don't want it to have a big opening because I don't want to show too much of that plastic. And I think this time I'm gonna try to like cover that up a little bit as well. Let's see. I think a little bit more in the front. Okay. So now we have that. And we could probably trim this down a little bit so we could see the eyeball a little bit better. Okay. So it's gonna look something like that. Now, if we want to, we can try to trim this out a little bit. Let's see, how can I do this? Let me see if I find a circle die that's about that size or a little smaller. I'll be right back. Okay, so I found my smallest nesting die and I cut that out of white cardstock, and now we're gonna see if it fits. Come on, please. Oh, yes, perfect. Okay, so it fits perfectly right there. And now we're gonna form our eyeball around there. So now it looks a little more complete. And that's what we're gonna do. Now we can always go in with a red marker or red pen and add some squiggly lines. Okay, if it works. Right. Let's see. And it's just to give the illusion that they have bloodshot eyes. Okay. Okay, let's do it like that. And then we can glue these two there, and then we can cut the whole thing out. Okay, so let's glue this part first. Okay. And just shape it around the eye where you want it. And then we're going to do the bottom part. Okay, let's see. And then just carefully put it in there. And you gotta fuss with it a little bit. This is just like basically trial and error stuff. Okay, hold on. I think we need to cut this one down just a tad. Okay. And let's try this again. Okay. Remember, with this stuff, everything looks weird until it doesn't. Stuff keeps falling into place. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, and now we're going to hold this down so it can dry just a little bit. And later on, if we want to trim this down a little more, we can. But right now, I just want to get it cut out. Okay. 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 We'll glue that into place also. All right. Now we pop that eyeball back in. And there we have it. Kind of creepy, but it suits this project. And then what we're going to do is that we're going to glue this whole thing into place, and then we can always come back with some more ink just to make it blend in better. And I'm just going to hold it there for a second. Pick up that excess glue. And after it really sets, then I'll come back with ink and ink it up a little bit more. And then to clean the eyeball, what I use is a little bit of hand sanitizer on a Q-tip and just rub it, and it'll clean the eyeball up right up. So there we have it. Now we have an eyeball. Okay, so I cut a feather to put on the bottom of this. And let's put that on now. So let's attach our little feather. And everything just starts falling into place. Hold it there for a sec. And then this is what we have so far, which is pretty cool. I think this is one of my favorite projects. I mean, it's a little creepy. I'm not a big Halloween person, but like I said, when stuff is going on, sometimes you just gotta create what you feel at the moment, right? And don't worry about the rest. Okay, so this will go here, but of course I'm gonna cut a panel to go on top just to make it a little more sturdy. And then we're gonna put a sentiment here, and of course this little piece will go attached in the front. So what I did for the top panel was that I cut out another piece of cardstock, and I took my wood look embossing folder and I embossed it. Now this embossing folder is 5x7 and this is the bigger piece, but it actually lent itself out to just emboss it in two different sections and you really couldn't tell. And that's how I came up with that. So let me get that paper ready and I'll be right back. I'll give you the measurements because the last time I just eyeballed it. So I'm really gonna take a look at the measurements and I'll give you that as soon as I get back, okay? I'll be back. Okay, we're gonna cut this one at 7 3/4. Maybe just a little bit bigger. And then we're gonna cut one piece at 5 1/4. Oops. And here, which I'm hoping that fits. Yes, it does. And then since the box part is 1.5 inch, I'm just gonna cut that at 1.5. So all I want to do is get the texture. Okay. So now we have that piece, and then we can emboss them. It's a lot of steps, but I mean, it's worth it. The look, the outcome is super cute. Okay, let's see where that folder is. Let me find my folder and I'll be right back. Okay, so now what I did was, this is going to take a couple of passes, but like I said, it's well worth it. I figured out where I wanted to put my my design and ran it through. Wonderful. And then I just flipped it over and did it again. Let's see where we want the design. And just close it off. And run it through again. Okay, so now we have that for the front, and we're going to do the same thing with this panel, which I'm just going to put it in the middle, more or less. And do the same thing over here. And now we have that piece as well. So we're done with this for now. And we can glue these panels on top. Okay. And then we're going to take this part out and do the same. See what side we want to put it on. Okay. And we're going to glue that into place. Just like that. So we have that. And now we can either glue this down flat or we could pop it up with some foam tape. I'm going to put some foam tape. This is a long video, but it's well worth it, I think. And we just need to figure out where that's going to go. And that's just about, that's okay. Okay. So now we have that done. And then we can glue this on top. Let me see. Yeah. Made that a little too big, but I can trim it down later. Okay. So now I want to glue this part of the book down. Want to add plenty of glue. And then we'll figure out exactly where we want it. And I think right there it's fine. So now when we pop it up, it looks like that. Yay! Okay, what I did with this one is that I used the Beware and I embossed it in purple. And then I popped it up on some foam tape. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Okay. Let me get that ready. I'll be right back. Okay, so I embossed it just for time's sake because we're already at an hour. And I'm going to put this one here. Let's see, more or less. And that does that. And then we can add the rest of our pieces. So that one will go there. And these will go here. And when we're done, we have this. I added a tassel. And that was it. So this is a different way to use that, you know, Enchanted storybook dies. A little bit creepier way. But it's fun. Look at it. It's so cute. Now with that movie coming out tomorrow, hey, make one. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys. And again, I hope that everyone is safe from the storm. And take care of yourselves and we'll talk soon. Bye.